Shalom. I'd like to say my testimony about my name and how I got it. And I'll explain something. I bought a new van and I was changing my tools from one van to the other. And it came lunchtime and my wife came up to me and said, "I've made you a sandwich and a coffee. Come inside." So I came in and I sat down as I'm sitting like this. I had my sandwich and my coffee and I had a cat nap. And I fell asleep and I had a vision that my soul had come out of my body and it was going through the roof up into heaven, and I could see myself sleeping and I could see my wife working in the kitchen. I'm like, oh no, I'm dead. Something's not right. So I get to heaven and I knew I was in heaven, so I took my shoes off because it was holy ground. Because I'm unworthy, because everything of me was just filth. And I took my shoes off and I saw in front of me these three big beautiful angels that I knew them and they knew me very well. They seemed to be angels, and I turned to the right and I could see the Kingdom of God, and I can hear God speaking to them, and as he was speaking to them it sounded like many waters, a rushing of many waters, if that makes sense, like or thunder, and it was very scary. And one related to me and said, "My good and faithful servant Jacob." And as he said Jacob, I turned around to have a look and see, like, who's he talking to? And is he talking to me? Anyway, cut a long story, I asked and said, "Am I dead? Can I ask you a question?" They said, "Yes." I go, "Am I dead?" And they laughed and they said, "No, you're not dead." And my good and faithful servant Jacob, we just want you to know that your tools from your van that you're putting in your old van into your new van, they're going to get stolen. And God sees you as his good and faithful servant, and he just wants you to know that. And I said, is it because when I was young I used to steal and I stole a lot of things in my time? Chocolates here at the milk bar, I needed the bike to ride home one day, I didn't know what to do, and stuff like this. And he said, no, you've been forgiven of these things, but he said not to do them again. I said, I'll never do them again. I haven't done them for years. And he just wants you to know that. And I said, can I ask you one more question? And he said, yes. And I said, who would do such a thing to me? So they picked me up and they took me. And I saw this man. He looked very familiar. And I go, can you just get me a little bit more closer? And I thought, wow, he's got me I'm in heaven. I can't go that wrong. So I'm thinking, if he gets me a little bit closer, I'm just going to give him a big whack. And as he came close, my hand came out. And as my hand was coming out, I wanted to slap him. And I was about this far away from his face. And as I went, I hear, Jacob. And it was God. There's no more relaying messages now. It was him directly with me. And I sank. And the angels picked me up. And he got one of my hairs and he plucked my hair out. And I went, ah. He goes, not even one of his hair. And he knew which one to pull out that hurt me. He goes, not even one of his hair you are to touch. Leave him to me, for I am the judge. I am the I am. For I am the I am. The way he said it was like, oh. And I said, I promise. And my hand went through his face. Now I'm watching my hand go through his head. And I'm like, this seems so real. And it ended up coming. And I slapped myself. As I slapped myself, I fell back into my body. And I fell into my chair. And I got so scared, I ran up. I go, oh my God, I went to heaven. I called my wife. She goes, what's wrong? I went, I'm in heaven. Look, I feel my heart. I was with God. I was with angels. He called me Jacob. I go, my tools. I go, if my tools get stolen, I go, I went outside, I packed all my stuff up, and I explained to her what happened. She thought, oh my goodness. Anyway, that evening we went to bed, and lo and behold, the next morning, my kids came up into the room. My wife, they were going, oh, that was the best sleep ever. I go, yeah, it was a nice sleep. My wife made me a tea for the first time in the morning, by the way. She's never done it before, ever, and even till now. But she made me a tea, and she opened the door and she goes, your van, did you leave all the doors open? I go, no. Then we realised that my tools got stolen that same night. So as I had that vision, we went to bed that day. That night I had the vision. Now the name Jacob, anyway, she goes, your dream, your vision, I already knew. I knew who it was. I wasn't allowed to touch him. I still know who it is. But, I can only pray for him. Now, the name Jacob is, now I made a pact many years ago that I'll find everything about him, not religion, everything about him. And whatever he tells me, I'll do. Doesn't matter even if it's against what I've grown up with. I will show and teach that to others, as long as it's what he wants me to do, not of my own will, of his will, because he's the King Melech. And I came and stumbled on a book called the Book of Jacob, and I'm thinking, oh, this is many years ago, and I thought, oh, this is another apocrypha book. What book's this? I told him, if it's not in the Bible, I don't want to know it. It's got to be in the Bible, and that is it. And then I had some Hebrew manuscripts and stuff, and somehow I got onto the internet. I did some research, and I found the name Jacob is James, and it was the book of James. So the interpretation of James is Jacob, and I went, Now this happened with the van 2014, and maybe 13, something like that. But about a year later, 2015. And I was learning the scriptures, I was learning everything, and I was thinking, I don't want to get another apocrypha book called Jacob. And then I realized that the name James is Jacob. And then I thought back at my vision that I had, and my God was calling me by my Hebrew name. He didn't see me as Dimitri. He saw me as Jacob. And I was so overwhelmed that I realized that he had changed my name to Jacob. That was my name from my birth. And, because my name is James. In English, it's James. But he called me Jacob, but because I'm Greek background, the James is Dimitri. But he sees me as Jacob. So this is why I write on my hat here, Jacob, and that's how you spell it. So I'm Jacob, Jacob. And during this, my testimony doesn't finish there. I learned Hebrew from God. He taught me the scriptures, the alphabet, the days of the week, the numbers, and many other things, and many other hidden scriptures that probably hidden to a lot of people. And I believe that there's many other people that have this, but I'm blessed to even know what I know. But anyway, I thought I'll share this with everyone because I love everybody, and I wish everyone finds my Lord and my God, Yeshua HaMashiach, and this is how you'll say it in English, Jesus the Messiah, and in Greek will be Jesus Christe, Nazareos, Nazareth. He's my Lord and my Savior, and he's a lovely God, and I love him very dearly. And I pray that the grace of God is on everybody, and on my children, and on my wife. And he's promised me that the most of my troubles have passed away, and all I've got to do now is have faith in him and trust in him. I leave you with this, Shalom, Shalom, and I'll say a Hebrew prayer, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Yeshua Amein. Amen.